Hey guys, Captain Foley back with you again today for another video. And today we're going to try something new. Recently I came into possession of some unopened 25th anniversary Star Trek cards. One pack of Star Trek, the original series. One pack of Star Trek, the Next Generation. These are from 1991. Should we crack into them? I think we should. Full disclosure, I do have full sets of both of these cards. They're actually packed away right now, which one day we will look at. But I want to do an unboxing, an opening video, an unwrapping, the unwrapping. We're going to do that today, and we're going to look at these cards and see what we got, because this is awesome to have access to the past. We're going to take a look. Join me. Alright, here they are, guys. Here is the Star Trek 25th Anniversary Edition, 1991. This is Star Trek, the original TV series. 12 official full-color trading cards. And on the back you got all your legal jargon, Paramount. Get your Star Trek 1991 25th Anniversary Series Collector's Album and card shirts now. Alright, well, I don't feel bad about breaking into these, so let's do this. I'm sure a lot of people might be screaming at me, but that's alright. We're gonna do this. Cut it open nicely, because tearing these is a bit of a pain in the butt. Let's take a look at what cards we get. Alright. Ooh. So first up, we've got one of the comics. There is Kirk being attacked by somebody. Let's read what it says on the back. It says gone. Gone. Alright. In this action-packed comic book, the Klingons and Nazguls and other old enemies of Captain Kirk fight amongst themselves for a chance to punish Kirk for alleged misdeeds. One of the enemies takes Kirk, Spock, and the crew R.J. Bray's prisoner aboard his ship. The trio escape to a transporter room, but before they can beam up, a sensational space battle breaks out, and all ships put up shields. Kirk selflessly mans the transporter controls and beams Blass and Spock to the closest planet, which is about to explode. Meanwhile, to beam up the captain, Commander Sulu risks the Starship Enterprise by lowering the shields. The story closes with Kirk, Spock, and Blaze safely aboard, and Kirk offering to turn himself in at Federation headquarters to stand trial for his alleged crimes. And that's by Eric Peterson for DC Comics. So there you go. Look at the battle that's breaking out behind them. Oh my goodness. Alright, next up is Catspaw. Do you know Trick or Treat? Oh, there's so much dialogue. When a search and exploration crew from the USS Enterprise beams down to the planet Pyrus 7, Sulu and Scotty are transformed into zombies in a haunted castle. I think zombies is a little bit harsh, but Kirk, Spock, and McCoy encounter Sylvia, my wife, a witch, and Korab, a warlock, who terrify the landing party with voodoo. They overheat the orbiting spaceship using a tiny ship model and a candle. The beings are actually aliens transmuted to human form and sworn to a mission of conquest and colonization. When Korab ultimately helps Kirk and his crew escape, an enraged Sylvia takes the form... You don't want to enrage Sylvia. Takes the form of a giant black cat and crushes the warlock. Seizing Carib's magic wand, Kirk uses it to destroy Sylvia's power. The aliens revert back to their fragile form and quickly die as the castle vanishes and Scotty and Sulu shake off their spell. Dun dun dun! So yeah, Catspaw. With the skeleton in the dungeon, which, you know, is an anatomical model and has a line on its skull. But that's okay. Next up is the Trekyards. And I've always hated the way Spock holds a Trekyards. Yes, you're showing off the screen, but there's never any information on the screen, Spock. Just bugs me to no end. But anyway, let's see what it says about the tricorder. Tricorder is used for scanning and analysis, as well as recording and storing information. As such, it's one of the most valuable devices available to away teams on planetary missions. Like the Starship Enterprise main sensors, a handheld tricorder can scan any object at which it is pointed for life forms, energy, and composition. Scientific, medical, or psychological tricorders have specialized capabilities. Each tricorder has a small screen that displays the results of any analysis. So, tricorder. Next up, the city on the edge of forever. Dun, dun, dun. There's the Guardian of Forever. And, of course, I'll have a big write-up for this one. While investigating a planet where strange ripples in time have occurred, a drugged Dr. McCoy enters a time portal on the planet's surface and finds himself in Earth's 1930s Depression era. There, he unwittingly changes history by saving the life of visionary social worker Edith Keeler, who has two possible futures. She will lead a pacifist movement to delay the U.S. entry into World War II, allowing the Axis powers to win, or she will be killed by a car. I know what I would pick. The USS Enterprise doesn't exist in the McCoy altered version, so Kirk and Spock follow McCoy through the portal to stop him. Tragically, Kirk falls in love with Keeler, and when a series of events draws them all together on a busy city street, the heartbroken Kirk must prevent McCoy from saving Keeler's life. Having restored original history, the party returns through time and space to the starship. Alright. Next up, we've got the Talosians. I don't know why it's got this pink filter on it. But anyway. Natives of Talos 4. Talosians are highly evolved beings who communicate with each other primarily through high-speed telepathy. Evolution has eliminated their emotional natures, but this was not a change they welcomed. In fact, boredom and their emotional existence has led them to misuse their mental power. The Talosians look down on humans and treat them as playthings. The Talosians' magnified mental powers allow them to implant utterly realistic illusions into human minds to invoke pain, pleasure, and the entire range of human experience, and thus provide the Talosians with vicarious emotional thrills. To this end, they constructed a menagerie and populated it with humans to interact with their illusionary worlds. It is a wonder. Is it any wonder that to travel to Talos 4 is forbidden? I don't know if that's supposed to be that color or if it faded over time. It just looks very odd. The Devil in the Dark. I think one of the best episodes of TOS. Really love this one. Let's see what we got going on here. Goddamn novel on the back of each card. Sorry for reading these. Chief Mining Engineer Vandenberg summons the USS Enterprise to the Perigium mines of Janos 4, where miners are being killed by an unknown menace that burrows through stone. Spock deduces that the creature is intelligent life form and it deliberately disables an integral part of the mining colony's life support reactor. After Captain Kirk wounds it with his phaser, Spock performs a Vulcan mind meld with the subdued creature. He learns that it is the sole surviving Horta, intelligent and genetically peaceful, and is killing only to protect thousands of its silicon eggs from destruction by the mining operation. The enlightened miners now embark upon a profitable relationship with the Horta. Its freshly hatched young will dig their tunnels for them while they sit back and get rich. Slave labor for the win. Leonard McCoy, physician. He always looks so grumpy. Alright. As senior ship surgeon and head of the medical department on the USS Enterprise, Dr. McCoy is responsible for the physical welfare of the crew. Bones also has broad medical science responsibilities in exploration. Outspoken and cynical, Dr. McCoy is one man who can get close to the captain, since his duties include constant assessing of the captain's mental and physical well-being. Dr. McCoy practical as an old-style general practitioner, has never liked the ship's transporter system. He doesn't care to have his molecules beamed around as if they were a radio message. A native of Georgia, Bones is a gallant Southern gentleman. He is divorced and has a daughter, Joanne, in training as a nurse. Since neither trusts the other's abilities, Bones and Spock constantly argue, but they work well together when pressed. I don't think they don't trust each other's abilities. They're just... I don't know. Anyway, A Taste of Armageddon. It's a great futuristic matte painting there. So let's see. This says, at the insistence of Federation Ambassador Robert Fox, the U.S. Enterprise journeys to MNR 567 to establish diplomatic relations, ignoring the Armenians' warnings not to visit. Kirk and the landing party beam down to discover a populace that has been at war for centuries with the neighboring world. The war is waged with no weapons, only computers. Yet the casualties are real. Designated numbers on both sides must die in antimatter chambers. The starship and its crew are declared casualties, and the away team is imprisoned. But Spock and Kirk escape and destroy the MNR computer and antimatter chambers, thus upsetting the war's delicate balance. Faced with the prospect of now fighting a war with real weapons, the two worlds enter peace talks with the assistance of Ambassador Fox. Next up, we've got Sulu, Chief Helmsman. Oh my. Alright. Sulu is a top officer and one of the most proficient helmsmen in Starfleet. Since Starfleet service, sorry. With his ability to focus entirely upon whatever mission is at hand, he has never had to receive the same order twice from the captain. He performs as a terse professional when the pressure is on. In startling contrast to the chatty personality he displays otherwise, Sulu's ancestry is mixed Oriental, predominantly Japanese, and his most prominent personality trait is an enthusiasm for hobbies, although he switches from one to another. This week it's botany, next week it's alien firearms. Sulu plunges into each avocation with the same intensity. He is something of a chatterbox who can't help but urge his friends to share in his current interests. Fencing. Alright, next up is Tomorrow Was Yesterday, another one of my favorite episodes. Tomorrow Was Yesterday. The gravitational forces of a black star hurt the USS Enterprise. Hurl the USS Enterprise backwards in time to Earth's 20th century Nebraska. A jet fighter investigating the giant UFO was accidentally destroyed by the starship's tractor beam. Pilot John Christopher is beamed aboard as a life-saving measure and soon knows too much of the future to return to Earth. But when the ship's historical records show that Christopher's unborn son will someday lead vital space exploration, Captain Kirk and the crew work desperately to erase the starship's influence on the 20th century while preserving the pilot's destiny. Scotty duplicates the time warp effect, and Christopher is returned to his jet cockpit with no memories of the encounter. The Starship Enterprise is slung back to its own era, leaving no trace of its visit. Dun, dun, dun. Metamorphosis. Captain Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are ferrying the alien Assistant Federation Commissioner Nancy Hedford back to the USS Enterprise for treatment when a cloud-like entity forces the shuttle down to the planet Gamma Canaris N. There they find the centuries-old inventor of space warp drive. As an old man, Zephram Cochrane had set out to die in space, only to be rescued and restored to youth by the cloud-like entity, whom he calls the Companion. But Cochrane has grown lonely, so the Companion has provided captive human companionship. Communication with the Companion reveals this is a she and is in love with Cochrane. Eventually, the Companion forsakes its own immortality by uniting with the dying Nancy Hedford, restoring her to health. She and Cochrane choose to live out their natural lives together on the planet, and the starship crew is free to leave. Another great episode, honestly. Bad picture for it, though. And Andorians. Oh. Andorians. These memorable blue-skinned bipeds with their white hair and small knobbed antennae projecting from each side of the crown of the head have figured predominantly in the history of the United Federation of Planets and enjoy the full privileges of voting members. By heritage, they are a race of savage warriors. By their strength and fighting ability, but their strength and fighting ability is masked by their deceptively soft, lisping voices and slender humanoid builds. While Andorians are admittedly aggressive and not known for their compassion, they are fiercely devoted to family values. So there you go. There's the TOS set. Obviously not all of them, but a good number there, and there's some good cards in there. So that was fun to open. So let's move on to the TNG pack, as we do here. So same kind of packaging. 25th anniversary, 1991. Star Trek The Next Generation instead, though. So other than that, it's all the same. And let's open this thing up. And see what awaits us. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, so first up is the Dolphin. Dolphin. A routine mission for the USS Enterprise to escort a young ruler named Salia to her home planet on Daled 4 becomes an interstellar tryst. Wesley and the young girl fall in love en route, despite Wesley rejection by her overprotective guardian, Anya. Counselor Troy senses that the passengers may be more than they appear, and her suspicions prove correct. Anya is an Alasomorph who can change into a raging beast and protect the planet's new ruler. But when the deadly creature catches Salia and Wesley alone, Salia transforms herself into an even more frightening creature and holds Anya at bay. Wesley recovers from his initial shock and his lover's true identity and wants her to stay with him. Soon the lovers come to realize that their destinies are forever separate. His is on a starship, and hers is ruler of the planet. Great makeup. Geordi LaForge. He sees you through your computer screen and or TV. Anyway. Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge has been blind since birth and is able to see with the aid of his scanning device known as a visor, visual sensory optical reflector, which is worn over his eyes. While Geordi's eyes don't see, the optic nerves leading to his brain are healthy enough to receive electrical impulses from the scanning device. Despite a handicap that might discourage most people, LaForge distinguished himself by graduating from Starfleet Academy. In his position overseeing engineering aboard the USS Enterprise, the resourceful LaForge has repeatedly demonstrated extraordinary competence and discharges his duties with the solid trust of Captain Picard. Next up is the Schizoid Man. Data with a beard is quite unnerving. The Starship Enterprise arrives at a remote planet to bring medical aid to the ailing Dr. Ira Graves, a brilliant scientist. Data and Graves quickly develop a strong relationship, but Graves dies without revealing the stunning achievement that he can transfer his knowledge from a human mind to a computer. Returning to the starship after Graves' death, Data displays erratic and destructive behavior. Counselor Troy discovers that at the moment of the scientist's death, Graves transferred his mind into Data. When Captain Picard confronts Graves with his damaging effect on Data and the starship, Graves' mind is transferred from the android. Data is restored to normal, and the scientist's intellect finds a new permanent home in the ship's computer. To know him is to love him. Home soil. That is an awful picture for home soil. That is just a publicity shot of Brent Spiner as Data, but that's quite all right. Home soil. The U.S. Enterprise assists a group of terraformers on Valera 3 who are working on to turn an apparently desolate planet into a hospitable environment. During their visit, a terraformer engineer is killed in a bizarre accident, and Data is mysteriously attacked by lasers. Geordi and Data discover a microscopic life form that seems to be trying to communicate. Transport her back to the ship. The life form's rate of reproduction prompts Dr. Crusher to quarantine the medical lab. She discovers that the intelligent microorganisms have declared war against humans for killing their species by terraforming the planet. The organisms are returned to their home, and the terraformers depart, having narrowly averted destroying the planet's small but important indigenous life. Pretty good episode, actually. I really kind of enjoyed that one. Next up is Commander William T. Rker. Season 1. Executive Officer Will Rker, also known as Number 1, has been selected more than once to command his own starship, but he's still learning from his personal mentor, Captain Picard. As the second in command, Rker is responsible for providing the captain with a vessel and crew in top condition and for leading away teams. Rker is a proud man, comfortable with acting on his own, in the correct areas of responsibility. This does not get in the way of his deep respect for Captain Picard, and the feeling is mutual. Rker has a commanding physical presence, a characteristic tilt to the jaw, and the light in his eyes that's a cross between a flash of lightning and a bemused twinkle. Bemusement. My superpower. Coming of age. Mommy and son. Orbiting the planet Relva 7, Wesley beams down from the USS Enterprise to take a difficult Starfleet Academy entrance exam. Aboard the starship, Captain Picard is undergoing a rigorous competency investigation ordered by Admiral Gregory Quinn. Meanwhile, a young crewman, distraught over failing the Starfleet exam, steals a shuttlecraft. When the craft malfunctions and begins to fall out of orbit towards the planet's surface, Picard calmly talks the boy into a maneuver which saves him and the shuttle from destruction. Picard passes his test, and Admiral Quinn confides his fear that an unknown influence has begun to infiltrate Starfleet Command. When Wesley is turned down by the Academy, he returns home to the starship. Picard offers words of encouragement, but is troubled with Will Quinn's suspicions prove correct at a later date. Yes, conspiracy. Brent Spiner. This does not say Data, this says Brent Spiner. Brent Spiner, who plays Lieutenant Data, and a unique android of the U.S. Enterprise, not only believes in extraterrestrials, but thinks he is one. Obviously, I'm from another planet, he laughs. He is serious about his belief that beings from other worlds exist, and says he will always be unless convinced otherwise. Spiner was born and raised in Houston, Texas. Following college, he acted off-Broadway in what he termed gritty, ugly plays. After moving to Los Angeles in 1984, Brent appeared in a production of Little Shop of Horrors. Since then, he has appeared on Cheers, The Twilight Zone, Night Court, and Hill Street Blues, as well as Woody Allen's Stardust Memories. So why didn't they just get a picture of Brent and not Data? I don't know. Skin of Evil, Armis, getting ready to kill Deana, or not Deana, Tasha Yar. Oh my god. My god, man. When her shuttlecraft malfunctions and crashes on Vagra 2, Counselor Troy is taken hostage. Her captor, known as Armis, is a cast-off evil of an advanced race and prevents Riker, Crusher, Data, and Lieutenant Yar from rescuing Troy. When Armis kills Yar, Captain Picard joins the away team and attempts to reason with Troy's captor. Armis responds with threats and malicious taunts, but the team observes that when the creature is provoked, the force field around Troy lessens. They use this weakness to rescue her. Picard then orders the ship's phasers to destroy the shuttlecraft and declares the planet off limits, leaving Armis forever marooned in isolation. Returning to the USS Enterprise, the crew visits Yar's holographic image. The crew views Yar's holographic image, which delivers her living will and touching farewell to her shipmates. Aww. The Prime Directive. Oof, what a great picture for the Prime Directive. So the Prime Directive. The mission of the Starship Enterprise is to seek out new life and civilizations and to come in peace. Overriding all other considerations is Starfleet's Prime Directive prohibiting interference in the normal development of alien life and societies beyond the defense of Federation vessels and colonies. It can be disregarded if such action is crucial to the vital interests of the entire Federation. But a commander who does so without compelling reasons faces court-martial. At times, this ties the hands of Captain Picard, since an alien civilization must ask for help before a Federation vessel may use its power to influence events. The Prime Directive illustrates that humanity in the 21st century has learned an important lesson, and with great power comes great need for restraint. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? I was going to say with great power comes great responsibility. Contagion. There's Worf carrying Data. The U.S. Enterprise responds to an SOS from the USS Yamato, only to watch the vessel explode. The doomed ship bound for Iconia in the neutral zone has encountered a strange probe. Retracing the Yamato's course, Captain Picard and his crew discover that the probe rewrote the Yamato's software and caused the ship to disintegrate. The same virus is now attacking their main computer. Reaching Iconia, they discover a gateway for time travel as well as the probe's power source. It takes them to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, to the City Hall. Oh, wait a minute. Meanwhile, the Romulans, intent on attacking the ship, fall victim to the same computer virus, rendering their weapons useless. Data enters the time travel gateway and returns to the ship, where his self-correcting computer program is able to override the software intruder. Picard destroys the Iconian power source to keep it out of Romulan hands, then beams back aboard his rescued ship. Counselor Deana Troi. Life on a Federation starship can present the same stresses and neuroses as life on a planet, as well as some other unique emotional challenges. That's where Counselor Troi comes in. Half human, half Beta Z, her empathic abilities allow her to read emotions and to sense the oft-hidden emotional underlying events. Complementing her powerful sixth sense is her deep personal wisdom and understanding of human and alien natures. Troi is extremely knowledgeable in psychology, philosophy, and religious practices throughout the known universe. True to her title, Troi also offers her ability to any crew member of the USS Enterprise in need of counseling. Exquisitely sensitive, Troi is in essence one of the starship's sensors called on to provide Captain Picard with information and advice in many complex and delicate situations. She's a censor, don't you know? We'd all want to censor her, I think. And lastly, Measure of a Man. Great episode. We're almost done. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have read all these. Data's existence hangs in the balance when he is ordered to serve under Captain Bruce Maddox, who seeks to dismantle the unique android for study. After Data refuses the order and considers resigning from Starfleet, Maddox challenges Data's refusal on the grounds that he is Starfleet property and not human. Captain Picard asks to defend Data in a hearing before the Judge Advocate General. Rker is the next most senior officer and is forced to act as prosecutor. In a dramatic courtroom demonstration, Rker switches Data off and proves that the android isn't human. Picard responds with an impassioned plea that Data is sentient with all the rights and privileges of a living being. The judge landmark ruling is not only safeguards Data's right to exist, but gives the android new status as a crew member. And then it's all undone in Picard when androids and artificial life have no rights. So that's awesome. So there's your TNG and your TOS cards. Sorry this video was so long. I didn't really expect it to be. I was just going to kind of talk about them a little bit. I didn't expect to read everything, but hopefully you guys have seen these. Maybe have them. It's nice step back in time to 1991, the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. So there you have it, guys. A really really fun look back. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Now let's close this out. Well, there you go, guys. That was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I will add these cards to my other card collections. Like I said, they are packed away right now, but I do have complete sets of these, so I'm not too butthurt about opening these ones, honestly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like if you did. Also, put down in the comment section if you want to see more content like this, shorter videos, and more videos a week. Let me know what you guys want. I want to do some more good content here, and I want your input. So by all means, let me know. Speak up in the comment section. And like I said, please hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel, the Captain Foley personal channel, as well as the Trekyards main channel. We do a lot of Star Trek content over there, obviously. And check out another video by me as well. So until next time, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. Bye, guys.